Yul, by far the most hated character of Disventure Camp. Wait, no, that's Rhea. People hate Rhea more. Let's try that one again. Yul, by far the most divisive character in the whole series. Wait, no, that's Jake. He has a lot more support now, but he's basically the Marmite of Disventure Camp. Either you love it or hate it. Yul, by far my favourite cat. God damn it! Yul is a character who requires no introduction. Yes, he's an abuser, and yes, he's a bigot, and yes, he's both hated inside and outside of the Disventure Camp universe. But does that necessarily make him a bad character? Does his awful personality represent poor writing? And most importantly, what were the writers' intentions for Yul this season, and did they succeed in it? Well, my friends, that is what we are here to discuss. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we get onto his writing and the community's stance on them, let me give you my opinion on Yul. I think pretty much every joke centered on him is hilarious. He's a bigoted piece of shit, yes, but he's constantly called out for his actions and giving his karmic justice, which is both satisfying and comedic. Good examples of this is the grill scene in episode 19, this scene in episode 8, and my personal favourite.
Oh, Jake! Look at Tom's bulge in his tight swimsuit!
Oh, shut up.
He's also very charismatic, with constant high energy and a great voice performance by Michael Horowitz. I think his role in playing a key part in Gret's arc was good, but to be honest, I think he had potential to be the secondary or even main antagonist. I do however want to emphasize something about him in season 2. He was very intelligent with immediately getting himself into an alliance with Thor despite being controversial. And being in an alliance this big, this early on is basically best case scenario. And even when he was put into an incredibly disfavourable scenario being swapped into the other team, his strategy with the tiebreaker and mushroom were incredibly smart strategically. And if it wasn't for James, he probably would have ended up the main antagonist of season 2. But unfortunately, that's where his biggest flaw comes in. Don't get me wrong, he was great in All Stars, but I feel he had so much missed potential. I think his relationship with Gret could have been handled similarly to the Ice Dancers or Team Rocket, which would have been much more entertaining in my opinion, as I think they'd bounce off each other quite well. They also dumbed down Yul hard. I mean, it makes sense considering he was in an alliance with at least 4 other people for his entire game, so he didn't really have to do any strategy. But god, his dislikable traits are toned up wildly, and he never really gets strategical, which means it makes a lot more sense why people don't like him. Speaking of which, let's hear from some of these people. So this is basically what I did. I messaged a few people from r/Disventure Camp to get their opinions on Yul, to get some more general consensus. This was quite interesting to do, and I think it was interesting how every single person I asked managed to respond. Anyway, here's what they had to say. Automatic Complex 663 says,
Yo, I get that he is a character we're supposed to hate, but I don't really think it's well done. Some people like him see they think he is funny, he is actually sometimes, but most of the show he just spends his time being abusive towards Gret, being prejudiced, and a bigot. Fatphobia and bigotry is not funny, and it never will be, and BC of that y'all, has no really likable traits and nothing that's interesting about him. The worst part is when the writers try to make us sympathize with him in that scene in EP 19 with showing Yul feeling bad. Why should we feel bad for him all of a sudden? And what was even the point of that scene if Yul really is this evil person we're supposed to hate?
Fitphrase7765 says,
I feel like he had potential to be more complex, but Unk just couldn't succeed in developing him. He's way better in Esther because S tries doing a serious abuse arc with him, and it just doesn't work.
Oof, 2 pretty negative ones so far. However, Jim Too Quick says,
Me personally, I love Yul. He's a really funny character, and does his role really well. He really gives off major secondary antagonist vibes. I really think he should have went further too. He was definitely one of the most wasted characters of DCAS.
Finally, Purple Orchids 2 says,
I think Yul is an interesting but controversial person. In Season 2, he had a good strategic game and actively tried to move forward in the game, making an alliance with Iden. In All Stars, however, he He portrayed himself as a racist and sexist person, with that being his main focus, by pretending to date Gret and having adverse reactions to her weight loss journey. He also insulted various others in the game by his own biases. The only strategy he had was joining the villain alliance.
So basically what I've learned from this is that people think he's pretty cool in Season 2, but was overall unfunny, bigoted and annoying in All Stars, and had missed potential. I personally disagree with this. I think half of what makes Yul so good for me is that he always gets repercussions for his bad actions, and he's constantly called out for it from the other members of the villain alliance. And at the end of the day, we get this amazing scene where Gret confronts him. Seriously, I think this might just be the best voice acted scene in the entire show. Just the sheer anger and emotion coming from both characters is really well performed. But I think the reason that he's so hated is that you're expected to take him seriously and as a joke at the same time, which is quite specific and doesn't appeal to that many people. As well as that, he's just a character you're supposed to hate. With a character like Heather or Scott, it's fine, because they're characters you love to hate. But Yul is bigoted and abusive, which are both real life problems, so I can see why people don't like him. You may have noticed that this scene in episode 19 was referred to, and I want to go a little more in depth about it. See, people find this scene pointless, and trying to redeem a bigot who hasn't felt remorse is stupid. But I don't think a redemption was really the intention behind this scene. We learn that Yul being the way he is has worked for him before. This is never further elaborated upon. It could be through his dance career or past relations, but it doesn't really matter. Point is, Yul has ended up this way because it was beneficial to him. With North Korea and everything, he obviously had a rough childhood. And being born in a country you're legally not allowed to leave, you've got to toughen up a bit. He's learned that if he wants to get what he wants, he can't go the nice route, which has led him to becoming a terrible person. This isn't defending his actions or anything, but it's just adding a little perspective. But now James is offering Yul an opportunity for him to leave his old life behind, apologise for his actions, and hope to become a better person. And just for a moment, it looks like he's going to follow through with this. He has nothing to lose, and his previous strategy in life is not going to work anymore. So, he takes a deep breath and calls out Gret's name, walking down the staircase and emotionally preparing himself. But then, something stupid happens. Something so stupidly lucky, it might just win him his career back. He finds the idol. Realizing he can gain money and fame, he takes the easy way out. Takes the route where he doesn't end up facing his actions and coming to terms with himself. Where he can continue to do what he does best, be an asshole. And what is the result of this? He succeeds. He teams up with Rhea in the finale and wins $100,000. Despite everything, he still came out on top. Using this money, he creates his own podcast and drink. Now, we don't know how successful this was, but considering Disventure Camp is a pretty popular show, we can assume the publicity was enough to cause the soda and podcast to blow up. So, it looks like Yul's gotten everything he wants. But there's one issue. If you look closely, you can see a forced smile. Smile of a man who has gone past the point of caring, past the point of ever redeeming himself. Smile of someone who hates his job, hates his fans, has no friends, any previous friends probably disconnected with him, and someone who is alone and miserable. This could have been prevented if only he wasn't a coward. And that is what makes him a tragic character. Which is funny, because this is exactly what they were going for with Rhea, except 10 times better, and nobody even noticed. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about this little devil. To end off this video, these are Yul's best moments.
Don't let me in with that disgusting crowd. Hello? Alright. Excuse me, what I meant to say was, I do not belong to the LGBTIKZ community, but if I did, there would be absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a child!
And that's an ugly, pimply bitch!
Yeah, I believe I cracked the code, enjoying every second and it never gets old. Are you crazy?
Words, loser.
Of course I do.
Alec, you're an insufferable nerd. Rhea, I've seen adult videos with better acting. Connor, you're old. Aiden, you're a twink. Jake, you're a twink part too. Allie, I left some of those hate comments. Gabby, fuck you, bitch. And finally, correct. I'm going to personally make sure that you do not win this $3 million. You'll be here for my lawyers.
Electricity! So I can charge my phone and I can tase some annoying kids. Ugh, why is everybody so sensitive? Ow, fuck! Why is it always the face?
Huh? What was that?
Clearly not your agent with a booking. Oh, you did not just do that! Why are we starting so early? I need my beauty sleep.
Okay, you'll forfeit and it's out of the game.
What? No, please.
Relax.
We got a
#1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. Get down, 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just got down. I revived him, now we're heading southbound. Now I'm in the present party. Look at the map, go to the mark sheet. Take me to the Xbox to play